Now, under the law, patriarchy does not exist. Now, I looked at the meaning of patriarchy because I've been saying everybody have been talking about patriarchy. Most ladies, most feminists that I know, they've been talking about patriarchy. And I was trying to, is it not the same patriarchy that I know? I was forced to look at the dictionary meanings of, so many dictionaries. I opened to so many dictionaries to look for the meaning of patriarchy and also to juxtapose it with what these women are saying. And if I understand it to be what it is, patriarchy, where men have power, have dominance, and exclude women from whatever it is that they're doing, exclude women just because of the fact that they are women, so they don't involve them in most of the things that they are doing, and mostly would lead to the oppression of these women. Now, looking at it and also looking at what is obtainable, especially in Igbo land, because I am Igbo, and people have been talking about patriarchy, Igbo patriarchy, the Anambra patriarchy. It doesn't exist in law. It doesn't exist in law. Now, whatever culture that might come into your mind when you hear patriarchy is up to you. But I'm talking from the angle of law. I'm talking from the perspective of law. Now, as a lady, as a woman, if you feel that you are oppressed, we live in an egalitarian society. Of course, that is what the law expects us to believe. That we live in an egalitarian society where the law has remedy to whatever it is, whatever oppression you think you must be facing. The problem with you ladies, or with some ladies, is that you do not read, you do not study, you do not seek legal or professional advice. Because if you think you are being oppressed, your remedy is not on TikTok. Coming to TikTok to rant about how you were oppressed, that is it. You will not get remedy. Yeah, you have the courts there. You have your rights as enshrined under Chapter 4 of the Constitution. And so, if your rights are being infringed upon, you cannot come to TikTok and be looking for remedy. There is no remedy on TikTok. The only thing that you will get on TikTok is just sympathizers or people that will say, "Chai, ewo, chai, sorry, men are scum, sorry." That is the only thing that you will get. You have Section 42 of the Constitution, Federal Republic of Nigeria, has prohibited discrimination by virtue of the fact that somebody is a woman, or because of somebody is from a tribe, or because of somebody is of a political opinion, for you to deprive the person of what is actually accruable to the person. So if you know that you have this right, and you know that your fundamental rights can be enforced by the courts, and you are in a situation where your culture has made it possible that the men in your society, or in your culture, in your village, can infringe upon your rights, what do you now do? You go to court, because the Constitution is supreme. If Mrs. Ukeje was like you people, now the Ukeje I'm talking about is in the case of Ukeje versus Ukeje. Ukeje versus Ukeje is the case that the Supreme Court has made it known that that culture of women in Igbo land not being able to inherit something from their father's properties is actually repugnant to natural justice, equity, and good conscience. It took the bravery and the courage of Mrs. Ukeje to file that matter in court, and it has become a locus classicus when we are talking about customary laws. See, when you see that your custom is actually bad, what are you supposed to do? Is it to come on TikTok to rant? No. What you're supposed to do is to go to court and assess necessary avenues to abolish that custom. Because for a custom to be a custom, it must pass 3 validity tests, and it is the court you will go to and ask whether this custom has passed these validity tests. Number 1 is that the custom is repugnant, that the custom is not repugnant to natural justice, equity, and good conscience. That is, it is not disgusting. Number 2 is that the culture or the custom is not incompatible with any written law in force in Nigeria. That is it. Number 3, that the custom is not against public policy. Now, if you look at that custom you are complaining about every time on TikTok, and you now notice that it failed one of these tests, what is keeping you from bringing together your fellow feminists, funding the course of action, going to court, and getting judgment. That will even be more victory than coming to TikTok to rant. So in the eye of the law, we are all equal, and that is the principle of rule of law. And patriarchy does not exist. Now, if your custom, you think that in your custom patriarchy exists, the courts are there to save you from what you call patriarchy, so that you will not be oppressed. Our laws work, it's just that you have not accessed it. They work.